If you're a success-addicted workaholic, the world's going to say, good job. You worked 16 hours a day and got that project done. Nobody's going to say, you polished off 3 pints of vodka last night. You're a really excellent drinker. No, they're going to say, you're a pathetic alcoholic. Go get help. But if you do the same thing as a workaholic, people are going to congratulate you. That's the way the world actually works. I get it, is the whole point. But the truth of the matter is, you will not be a happy person. You just won't. Part of the reason is because you'll be mediocre in your faith. You'll be mediocre in your relationships, including your marriage and with your children. You'll be a mediocre friend. And those love relationships are everything. Start getting good at your marriage. Get better.
Welcome yet again to the Best of Me podcast, that small little community where we take a look at self-love and self-respect, mostly through reevaluating our relationships with vices such as alcohol, drugs, sex, gambling, and interpersonal relationships. It's all about the betterment of Uluntu. My name is Samora Magesi, and please share this episode, comment, like, subscribe, click on the notification bell so that you're notified every single time that we drop a new episode on Wednesdays at 3:30. And also follow us on the social media platforms as well. I'm very glad today to be sitting across from someone whose story I've heard before for a different platform. And I thought it's absolutely imperative that we get to have you on here to hear your story and see how you've managed to navigate Obako Ubong. Lisa,
yes.
Welcome to the Best of Me.
Thank you so much, Samara. Thank you for finally having me. I've been looking forward to sitting down and having this conversation.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, really, for the invite.
So, Lisa, the first question that I ask all of my guests pertains to a question that we are asked in social settings. You know, you might get to a braai at a friend's place and your friend is like, what's your poison? Asking you what it is that you would like to drink that day. Or you go to a restaurant and the waiter is like, okay, what's your poison? Can I get you drink soda? So what is your poison?
It's Coca-Cola.
Coca-Cola. Let's see.
So bad.
Let's see what we have in here.
Oh, nice.
That's okay.
Thank you.
Every single time I do this, I'm excited.
It's almost like even now I don't know what you call it. And yabona namhlanje iyadingeka. There's nothing like this drink. Aphe life in for me. Let me
Sure.
pour. And it really, literally is my poison.
Yes.
And kuchiwa kuthiwa nayo.
Nayo ewe.
Yeah.
Nayo. There you go.
Thank you.
All right, so Lisa, when you ask someone what their poison is, most of the time they just think that we're asking them about a drinks order. However, when it comes to izinto ezisityayo ngaphakathi, when it comes to izinto ezisiwarishayo, when it comes to izinto that weigh heavily on inhliziyo zethu and our spirits, that can also act as a poison.
Yes.
Because poison in its inherent form is something that you consume and it eats you up on the inside.
Yeah.
So with that said, Lisa.
Yes, Amora. You should be a therapist.
What's your poison?
Oh, bruh. My poison is that I'm an overthinker.
Okay.
Kakhulu. I'm an overthinker, and I struggle to voice out things that I'd say I don't like when it comes to family and friends. I'm not very vocal. I'd rather rather than telling people how I actually feel. Most of the time, it's always about the other person. It's always about what my response would make them feel if it's not something that is favorable, depending on the request. But I would say, eyonanto ingamandla more than anything is me being an overthinker. And that takes a lot in my life. It tends to take away my joy, things that I'm supposed to be appreciating more things that I'm supposed to be looking back and be like, you know what, I'm actually proud of myself. I did that.
Yeah.
And iphazamisa even in situations where I would say, Samara, I'm supposed to be almost, I would say, grateful.
Okay.
Take it in.
Yes. So take it in.
You are in the moment. Take it in. Abantu bathi enjoy it while it lasts and.
Yeah.
I don't really have the time for that more than I'm constantly over analyzing everything. And izinto ezinjalo, they take over impilo yam and they take over my mental state, and then it just overtakes a lot of things. Ekumele uba ndiyazijonga, but instead of looking at them positively, pinpointing everything that could go wrong.
You know what's funny? In last week's episode 20, with Repetile, I mentioned something there about feeling like I had to make up for lost time. Because, and again, like, my situation is very different to yours, but for me, because I wasted so much time in the first 13, 14 years of my career, that now it has become such a very big focus for me to make up for the last 13 years. Therefore, the biggest focus in my life is my professional life. Do you feel that maybe the overthinking in your life might be because there was a very big chunk of your life that you lived maybe for other people?
Okay, let me start with you.
Yes.
I'll start with you and say, it's funny you would say, for a big chunk of your life, you felt like kukwizinto that you are trying to make up for.
Yes.
Because overall, it kind of says you feel like you didn't do your best.
Yes.
But to the outside person, that is me,
yes,
who has watched you 14, 15 years ago, I would differ with what you're saying. And understand about you understand, because you've achieved so much.
Absolutely.
So the very same thing, and not in the ibona kuwe, it also applies to me. Because abandaziyo, they'll be like, but what do you mean, Annalisa? What did you do so much that all the time it's almost like you're second guessing yourself? Because the overthinking as well, it is also driven by second guessing, not being sure. So yes, I would agree with you on that, Indobana. There are things that happened in my life and naughty. I feel like ndishiyekile kuzo, but that does not mean I'm not grateful for the position endikuyo ngoku.
Yes.
But I think izinto that I faced when I was younger, like ndisemncinci kakhulu, they are the contributing factor to the way I feel and overanalyze my life. One of the biggest challenges that I still deal with, and I've dealt with kakhulu growing up, was always wanting to be perfect. Perfection and wanting to be perceived by people in a certain way.
Yes.
Samora, so much that even when you are at a position where sometimes you feel like you are making mistakes, njengamntu wonke, because akekho umuntu perfect apha emhlabeni. We all have our fair share of mistakes ezizenzayo. Some we do them singayiqondanga, some of them singena kuzo siyazi. But the at the back of my mind, lando yokuzijaja has always been my biggest problem, because I wanted to be a perfect person so much. I wanted to be an example so much that it takes over a number of things. Egmelbandias appreciate ngobombam, and that is my biggest challenge.
When you say some of the things that you went through in your younger years as a child, maybe take us back to that time. And maybe some of the things that you feel have shaped who you've become, and some of the things that you need to work through now as an adult.
Okay, let me take it back. Ndikhulele kwilali yaseDutywa Samara. And I was raised by my grandfather. Because my parents died when I was very young. The one parent I remember would be my dad, because my mom, and I've never met her. I don't know who she is. I don't even know her name. But all I know is that My mom died when I was still a baby, and utatam had to come and fetch me and take me to his village. Kui grandparents zakhe. Those my grandparents. And then abazali bakhe yabangabo abandikhulisayo. So that.
But sorry,
Yeah.
I don't want us to move on from. When you say you don't know your mother's name,
I don't.
So
I don't.
When you
know.
were being raised by your grandparents,
yeah.
there was there never any mention of your mother, or was the relationship bad between your parents before your mom passed away? Why is there this erasure of umama wako ebomin bako?
Hey, Sam, it's funny you ask me that question because it's a question I asked when I was younger.
Yeah.
When I was finally brave enough to ask my grandfather who was present at the time.
Yes.
Because as I said, ndikhulele Dutjwa and being raised by my grandfather because utatam was working in Cape Town. And he left at a very young age still. I don't know why, but he had to find better opportunities in big cities. So one day Shia with his parents. And not long after he left, I think when I was 7 or 8 years old, wabe uyasweleka. So again, I'm 7, I'm 8. I have not had enough understanding of knowing mana something is wrong, like I don't really have umama or utata. Somehow, because I was growing up with tata wamengeko, always working away from home, there was always a thought that would always register as though my mother is there somewhere. Maybe somehow, just as butata mebuya, naye uzawubuya. But unfortunately, that never happened. Utatamia was sweleka, and the question I kept asking myself, now that my dad is dead and is no longer alive, but where is my mom? Why is she not coming to fetch me? Why is she not coming? Because now, my dad is no longer there. It's only my grandparents. So I didn't understand, but one day I finally had the guts to ask my grandfather. And then I remember it was late in the evening on Saturday. I still remember because Saturdays were our bonding time, sessions would sit together and just have a chat, you know. And then I remember preparing for this moment because I was nervous. This conversation has never been raised before. It was never something that ethetwayo kwalapha endlini. And then I finally had the guts, and then I asked, "Ba kanti tata, uphuma mam and ngubani?" Politely and so humble, ndibuza, but irreception okanye manditi, the response to that question was not what I expected. Instead of me getting an answer, ndafumana almost like you could say a rebuke. I was rebuked for asking that question. Why ubuza? Uzoyenzani? Uzoyenzani? Uzomthini? Ubuze lantoni? Maphinda unibuze lo mbuzo. So that was the response I got. And that confused me. It confused me because it felt like I did something wrong for asking that. And I never had the guts again to ask because I didn't understand what was wrong about asking about my mom. And kungekho mntu ekhaya obeza ukundiphendula ngalonto. Unfortunately for me, ndikhula in a family that is very male orientated, and I was the only female, and I was the female child. My grandfather, he had about 6 sons, all male. And out of the grandchildren bakhe bebekhona nabanye, but abebehlala nabo in the immediate house with all his 6 sons. Ibindim umuntu abekhona but was the female. And the 5 abebekhona, I think 5 of them bebengabantu abaselayo. And ke ngoku whom I thought I wouldn't have a constructive conversation nabo, into mhlambe bendinobuza bandiphendule if my grandfather was not giving me those answers. So I just had to let it go. I just let it go.
Does your dad have friends or siblings that are still alive that might know igama likamama wakho or ifani or ilali wayehlala kuyo or sorry, this is becoming Khumbule Khaya.
It actually, I wrote to you guys.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, I wrote an email. It must be was even before I became a mom, like 15 years ago.
Yeah.
But I was still very young.
Yes.
I did like ndafumana strength to uba ndibhalele ukhumbule ekhaya, but it was an email some time ago, and I wrote all the pieces of what I think I know, because kututatam was bayisebenzela usikisiki, something about my mom being from Durban. It's just to a blurry picture that engaphelelanga.
Yeah.
And ke ngoku, unfortunately, abantu that I would think that maybe were my dad's friends, uninzi lwabo abasekho. And ke ngoku, because ndispende most of my life e-Eastern Cape and my dad ese-Cape Town, so i-friendship yakhe uyenze naba bantu, ndabe ke ngoku mna ndikweli cala. So, and when esweleka, I don't remember seeing them, because again usweleka when I'm 7 or 8 years old. So akukho nto izothi ndiyababona naba i-friends zikatata. Some of the things that happen even on the day of the funeral, it's bits and pieces that I still remember. Ezinye izinto andizikhumbuli. So, but I did try a little bit. I did try, and I khange ndibe successful that much. And then I end up wethu samora ndibuyeka. Also because there are so many things I'm scared of as well. Yeah. I'll tell you why ndisitsho. You know, sometimes when there are aspects about your life ongazaziyo, specifically when it comes to family, emven koko uyazi uvumbulule, only to find out into bana it's not what you expect.
Yeah.
And emotionally, mentally, that's good. Am I ready for that? Am I ready to be a sister to someone I've never Dimazi from day one, whereas I have my own struggles as well in bonding even with my cousins. Because in the kule kakulu, having to raise myself, I'll put it like that. Yeah. Because my parents died when I was so young. So most of isn't on Dizenzele. And I don't really know how to connect that much with other people, let alone a long lost sibling or a cousin, and kengoku nobomi as well, and you having to play certain roles, and I don't know how to do that. Yes. That's another thing. I don't know, but that's what I was told.
Because I'm looking at a response of manakutatomkhulu.
Yeah.
And for me, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Especially if your mother had really and truly either passed away.
Yes, yeah. I get you.
That's number one. Number two, I can't be West Bedland.
Hey, let's hope not.
I can't be missing kid poster.
Yay, let's hope not. Yeah, man, but, I get you. Yeah.
But wakhula kahle with utatomkhulu.
Samora ndikhule kakuhle ngoba he taught me a lot of things about discipline.
Yes.
He taught me a lot of things about humility and okuthiwa kubuntu, imbeko, ukuthanda abantu, ukumxabisa umntu. And I would also say, because I am who I am today, majority of what made me, it's everything that man taught me.
Yeah.
Even career endikuyo today is so inspired by my grandfather and iphupha awayenalo ndisakhula, like 7, 8 years old. Lelindilphilayo namhlanje. He instilled that kum, la vision elaphupha, nam dade ndalibona ndazibona, and I ended up becoming what he saw me becoming years ago, you know. So kuninza ndifundise kona about the person that I am today, but also there are things that angakwazanga ukundifundisa, like the mother figure ebendingenayo empilweni yam, the love yomntu ongumama. I don't know what that is. I've never had it from I've never had that. I've never had umntu ongumama empilweni yam.
You grow up in a household that's just men.
Yes.
You get your first period.
Yay. Hey. Okay. Yo. Jeez, brah. Okay. I didn't expect that, but yeah. Yeah. I'll tell you a funny story. Okay, no. Actually, I was lucky.
Yes.
Because I didn't have my first period. ndisahlala notatomkhulu wam.
Okay.
But I kind of, manditi, both of us, we kind of expected some things ukuthi zizawukwenzeka. But bendingekho worried about that because there were certain elements about my grandfather that made me comfortable about being a girl and a young child phambi kwakhe.
Yes.
Because i-underwear yam, like the panties zakwa-Pep, besithengwa ngutatomkhulu wam. You understand? Kaloku I don't have a mom. Banenza mxelele uba ziphelile. You understand? Ndikhulele ezilalini. So he was able to buy that, i-vest and i-kawusi zesikolo and a few items. Yeah, that's the word. Guys, this pants are back in the days. Yeah, but it's a snippo. That's the one with little stripes like this. So he kind of made me comfortable. And if there's one thing, and I think I still appreciate to this day about my grandfather, and ngutata was lalin. I loved cornflakes growing up. Like they were my comfort, like they were everything. I found joy in eating cornflakes. And Tisbone TV, because we had TV, black and white TV pipe again.
You've just gone and shown me.
Yes.
No, listen, besihlala ezilalini but ekuhlaleni ezilalini besinga abantu abathile because number one, cornflakes.
That's the thing.
Number two, TV.
Yeah. So because utata bepangela in the cities, so he would buy ezizinto azenazo during holiday. So we had a very tiny small TV, a black and white but bidlala. So some things and adverts bendizibona pha, and then I'd be like, yo, I want that. And utatomkhulu wam was a very traditional man, and bengenasabelo on anything that has to do with conflicts. But because he loved his grandchild that much, he bought those cornflakes all the time. Every month, nge payday, he would buy them. Sometimes azinabisi because ubisi ezilalini aluthengo. Kanjwa kuyosengwa inkomo pha ebuhlanti kuzwe nobisi belulo olundise nditya ngalo i-cornflakes. Sometimes if ubisi alukho, usigalela amanzi, faka iswekire, and you eat. Uyayibona lana? So those little things that he would do kind of made me comfortable in a way that ndaziva ndisit, if that period were to come, I think uzawukwazi ukundincedisa, you know, and ke ngoku nezikolo ziyazama ukunifundisa uba manithini. But the best thing that happened was that I had relocated to Cape Town. Waye wancama. Utamkhulu wam wazincama wandisa kwi-stepmother, someone who was married to my dad before he died. So she came down, wabe endibonile during the funeral. Fortunately for her, wandithanda. So wandisa ke ngokuye, because, and again, I was a very bright student. Esikolweni I was an A student, like disemncinci. So that zathi bimchukumisa utatomkhulu wam, and enento ethi Eastern Cape has limited opportunities. If I had a child like this, that's one thing people don't know about me. Like, I'm very good, like exobeni. So I would do a lot of portraits, illustrations, and do all that. And utatomkhulu wam would see him in appreciating that, but he would worry about, with all the skills that you have, ingqondo onayo, ndingakuthini mntwanam. So he finally had to find strength and let me go and be raised by someone else who was not even part of the family. But he took that risk, but I'm glad he did.
Did you have any siblings when you got to Cape Town? Did you find maybe your dad and your stepmom had children?
No, unfortunately they didn't. And that was one of the reasons the lady, she took me in. Because to her, I was my dad. I was a way of her connecting to her lost lover, eswelekileyo, yabo. So one disease ke wazama ukundikhulisa, but unfortunately zange ndihlale kakhulu naye. It was only just a year. Nalapho, it was me and my overthinking thoughts. Because kaloku ndisuke ezilalini ndizibheke eKapa. Yo, what if ndizareyithwa kulo mzi? You know, what if something could happen? Because this is not my mom. Akalogazi lam. So I was nervous. Zange ndiphathe ngendlela embi, but I was just not comfortable. So when the first relative came to visit, I grabbed onto them and I was like, I don't think I want to be here. I don't have a problem, but the thing, Yobana, If something were to happen, I have no one to run to. And kwela xesha izinto ze-GBV, i-rape, intoni, they were starting to really ziyakhula siyazazi. So that really made me nervous.
That must have been painful for your stepmom.
Yes.
You know, especially because if nothing happened.
Yeah.
And her trying to hold on to her late husband. Through you. But of course, you had to do what was best for you in that time. Utarumkhulu, is he still with us?
Oh, shame. He died in 2008. He didn't have the chance to see what I had become. I wish, Samora. I wish to the living God that even where he is, he has a window to see what had become of his granddaughter. More than what has become, but what he uttered with his mouth.
Yes.
It actually became a reality.
Yeah.
Even nam dihleli kule ndawo, I really cannot believe. Ukuve xa kuthiwa nyhani, there's power in ekuthetheni in the tongue land. Into xa uyifuna yithethe and put it out there into existence because izawukwenzeka. Ndifunde pha kutamkhulu wam.
When he passed away.
Yeah.
2008.
Yes.
Where are you?
Yeah.
And how did you take those that
the news? When he passed away, I am in Cape Town. Yeah, I don't want to say this, but we have to. It's going to take us to another direction. I'm in Cape Town. I am a born-again Christian. Sindiswesi. Sindiswesi. I am 17, I'm not sure, 18, around there, I think. I'm not sure, but as young as I was, because ndihambe ndaya ku-relative yam ndafika kukhonzwa pha, like seriously, ndangena kuyo. Again, ndingena because I'm thinking, I don't have a backup. I don't have backup. What do I have? As in like something to fall back on. I don't have like abazali.
You need to assimilate to obombalapa.
Yes.
So that you are not cast out.
Exactly. You get it.
I get it.
And if I don't make this work and I don't become a part of whatever this household iphila ngakhona, kuzakwenzeka ntoni ngam? Because back at home, apho ndisuka khona Eastern Cape, it was only my grandfather and his sons. I'm otato phakathi, otato omncinci. And I'm the only girl. Number 2, ndise Cape Town, somewhere there could be better opportunities for me. And ndiyawafuna la mathuba. And nasesikolweni I'm doing well, you know. But andiyazi ba what could become of me. So, ndiye ndazifaka, but ndizifake Samora. I don't know. I would always say this, even in the book, that one day you will get to read. One day you'll get to read. You will find the name Cinderella, the Cinderella story.
Yes.
Because I grew up watching so much TV and cartoons, I related so much to that story. Because I wanted to understand why izinto ebezisenzeka ebomini bam they were happening. I couldn't understand. And a part of me was like, then there must mean there's a greater plan for my life.
Yes.
Because there is no way I would go through such challenges. I would grow up without abazali, uthando lukamama, and number 2, ekhaya lo khaya eli-rich elinezinto but likhaya elisokolayo. You understand? And ndingumntwana oyintombazana, zininzi izinto endizidingayo endingenazo. And as I said, an overthinker, someone who's very emotional, ovela khale nje esithubeni, because uyacinga, uzibuza imibuzo emininzi, uyayibona lanto. So ndiyabuza ukuba, but why? If there is God, but why would you allow this to happen to me?
Yeah.
And the only way for me, I related to that story. Ngenxa yento bana Cinderella was cast out. She experienced everything, abuse, you name it. I don't really feel like I want to get to that without hurting those who played a role in my life.
Yeah.
But I would tell you that I did experience it severely, Samuel. Severely, so much that it drove me to a point where I wanted to commit suicide.
Is this in Cape Town?
Yes, that is in Cape Town. That was during the period where ndishiye utatomkhulu wam. That was also the period yokuba uswelekile, you know, and ndizijula kwi-religion. I'd put it like that. Ndizijula on the higher being, that is God, because I wanted refuge. I wanted safety. I wanted to feel protected, and I did not have that. So it was not hard for me to practice what they told me in Konzweni. And I was like, you know what? You're saying if I change and I do A, B, and C to be a better human being, then this is the reward. I was like, okay, I'm going to practice. I'm going to try, and I'm going to see where it lands me. And I took it serious. So serious that at 12 years old, I was already wearing a uniform. It is a guild, you name it, ushers, yonke laa nto yakhona. At 12 years old, the youngest.
Yeah.
That's how serious I took it. And it wasn't just about me taking it seriously, but it was the only choice I felt I had to throw myself kulo Thixo and see uba uzawundithatha ndibeke phi ngempilo yam.
So there are many ways. When I say many ways, there are different yokes, there are different denominations, there are different types of churches.
Yeah.
To get to.
Yeah.
This God. And some of them might not be the best option.
Yay, I get you.
Do you feel like the church that you were in was not necessarily the best way or the best route for you to get to lo Thixo umkhonzayo?
Okay. I'm older now. I would say a little bit wiser. But there is nothing about my past that I regret.
Okay.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Every step, every challenge, every pain, everything that made me happy.
Would you recommend that your child go to that church?
That's exactly where I was going.
Yes.
There are two big things I did. Zitu zinkulu enzenzileyo at a very young age. But for me, for Annelisa,
yeah,
I'm glad I did that.
Yes.
Because something in me says, had I not done that, the lessons I've learned wouldn't have driven me to,
of course,
the place where I'm at today, or they wouldn't have driven me to making such decision that led me to be the person that I am. But with that being said, I would not recommend it to my own child. I am happy that yenzeke kum, and I wouldn't change anything.
Yes.
Even if I would be given a chance to go back, I would say, keep my life the way it is. I don't want not to go to that church, because ukuba ndiye ndaye enkonzweni ndisemncinci helped me not to drink.
Yes.
Helped me not to be, no judgments, by the way,
no,
to those, because indlela zethu zobomi azifani.
Absolutely.
And the challenges that we face. But it helped me, I look at me and in the mirror and I smile. I'm like, maybe lankonzo yabo. Maybe lanba ndikhonze ndisemncinci ngoba I feel like igazi lam liselihle. And yazi, with the background that I have, had church not played a role, what would have become of me?
Yes.
You understand? Because many children who grew up the way that I did and who did not have isandle sifirm or anyone to say, don't go that way, don't do this, do that.
Yeah.
They just had to find their own way. Majority of them have 3, 4, 5 kids. Different fathers.
No judgment.
Yes. Again, no judgment. Silapo, I'm glad you said it. Because ubomi bethu leads us to izinto esingakhange sicinge ukuthi singakuzo. And number 2, another thing that I did not mention, getting married young. As you said, it's a shocker. because people think, Lisa, oh God, we can't wait for the Hallelujah day when kuyiyizelwa. Kanti sensuka.
Vela khona.
Yayiva. Mabuya. So
I mean, that's the one big thing.
Yes.
What's the other big thing?
It's being saved at a very young age.
Okay.
Number 2, it's being married at a very young age.
Let's talk about the being married. And I don't necessarily want to talk about the being married itself.
Yes.
But give us a brief overview of you getting married, how that happened, because I want to speak about the end of it.
Yes.
And the new Lisa. And re-establishing yourself post-marriage.
Yeah,
That's what I want to talk about.
Yes.
But just for a little bit of context.
Yes.
You got married at which age?
I was 17, turning 18.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, still, I wasn't like 100% legal, but my guardian was there to help sign and do all those things. Nalapo, it was an escape for me. It was an escape. It was the overthinking.
Cinderella
it was
finally gets a Prince Charming wag.
Bandit. So it was like that. It was somehow maybe I will finally find myself and maybe I'm gonna be safe and where
build your own family.
Yes, and finally make a home for myself because I never. It's funny that I never to this day and kabinayo lando kuthiwa samurai, it's a sense of belonging. Even nangoku, my heart, my mind, my life nje is searching for belonging. It's searching for a home. It's searching for a place where my spirit, my soul can rest and say, this is me. This is my life. This is what I've made for myself. And when I say made, I'm not talking about a career.
Yeah.
I'm talking about a chair like this, company like I have with you, like your family, your people who won't leave.
Yeah.
I don't know if that makes sense. People who won't leave because I feel like I've lost so much. People that I cared for. Because every time utatomkhulu wami bebhubha indishiya ndimncinci, my heart needed to jump onto the next person endizawuklikha naye ndimenze a replace laa ndawo ibithathwe ngutatomkhulu wami. And that became my uncles. And unfortunately, all 5 of them ngokulandelelana basweleka. And every time bendijumpa after my grandfather swelekile ndithande utatomncinci athi utatomncinci during the funeral because I'm there crying and ngulo mntwana waziwayo une emotional issues. Mntanam, I'm here for you. Ndizawukwenza konke okusemandleni to make sure that whatever you need, I'm gonna play that role. Ndisajonge loo nto leyo, but he's gonna play that role. Uyagula, uyasweleka. None of them died through accidents, but all of them bayagula, bayasweleka. To this day ndine phobia ngomntu ogulayo.
Yeah.
And biko right.
And then
Ibangati, yeah.
with that, because that can also create PTSD and trauma.
Yeah,
in its
a
own.
lot.
And Gengogo, how does that inform how you get close to Abantu? Because what I'm picking up is that I get close to someone, they pass away.
Yes. I get close to someone and mthandayo whom I could say I find a home with. Bangabiko, something happens. I wouldn't say the same out here. I get closer to friends.
Yeah.
But mhlawumbi you would relate to that. Kulanto ndithethayo yokubana instead of voicing how I feel, I keep it in because I want to keep this person.
So that they don't leave.
Do you understand?
Yep.
And I still struggle with people leaving my life to this day because, and I ended up developing a work ethic that was insane. It was insane because there's a different me Ngoku that is learning a little bit to relax. The reason for that, some of the things I was chasing is for man, but I develop an insane work ethic. I was running, my brain, let me put it like that, was running like an engine that was never stopping. Because for me, that became my comfort. It was my backup plan. It was my plan B. It was, you can leave, but it's fine. If I've got my money, if I've got isn't ozam, I'll be fine. There was that thing, Eti, work so hard that even if abekho, you are able to survive. Ukubone, ndizijulile emsebenzini that it took some ezinye inhlungu ubuziva apha emzimbeni.
Would you say you were a workaholic at the
I
time?
was. Too much. I was a workaholic, Samora, during COVID. When nabantu bengcwatywa, I was carrying these cameras you have here. Ndileqa ibhokisi ndiyintombazana. Shooting imingcwabo. Yes, literally. Samora, you bruh, literally, you have no idea. The things I did. I became a man.
Yeah.
Dintombazana, because I felt like I did not have a choice. Which some of those things were part of the reasons ezinye izinto they didn't work out in my life.
Yeah.
Because I developed amandla enzothi ngawendoda, yet I'm so fragile ndintombazana because I felt I had no choice. Also because it came from a point yokubana I am so scared of what I could lose, ngabantu, or the things I have, or what happens to me when I am unable. When my legs cannot walk, when my arms cannot function, what happens to me? Who's going to take care of me? Because I've never felt so secure that I had a backup. I had someone that loved me that much. Even though I love that much and I am capable of being there for someone to that extent. Because that is who I am. But does that mean for them to me?
Reciprocation.
So if it's not like that for me, so what do I do?
Was it not like that with your husband?
When he lost his job, I didn't feel like that because I needed to step up.
Okay.
I needed to step up. I needed to step up without thinking, because that's what you do.
Yes.
When one esiwa, uyazama ukuphakamisa pha, you know? But it became...
So when he lost his job,
yeah,
you felt like a lot of your worth may have been in what you can provide.
Yeah, a bit of that as well.
Yeah.
But I would say it became a norm. It became a part of me. It became me.
Yes.
That now, dingacho nditi nam, I was blinded into seeing his role because ngoku I play husband, wife. I played the whole entire role. Yonke nje, the whole picture, I had to play that. And it exaggerated my past traumas. It exaggerated my fears. And instead of, I don't know, maybe Gutwani staying the course, I just chose to find refuge in myself.
Okay.
Ulantiti, I am my own backup plan.
Yes.
Ulantwiti, without me, still there is no one.
So, you've built this family.
Yeah.
You've built this safe space for yourself. And then you decide that you are going to leave the safe space that you've built for yourself. How long were you married?
Yeah, it was a lot of years. I was on my 14th year.
Okay.
Yeah.
That you decided that you were going to leave.
Yeah.
Now, Ulisa is early 30s.
Yeah.
At the time. You have not had your teenage years, you have not had your 20s.
I had not had my childhood.
You had not had your childhood.
Like.
How has it been re-establishing yourself
now
post-marriage?
Yes.
In a different city?
Yes.
In a new career?
Yes.
And also trying to find yourself in all of that noise and mess and trying to figure everything else out.
Samora, lenu. Oh my God, I'm so not made for it. Ukhumva Adele xa isithi it go easy on me. Go easy on me, baby. I was still a child. I did not have the time to do the things that I wanted to do. Go easy on me. I relate to that song a lot in so many ways. There are so many things ngoku that nomuntu ondibonayo ngondibona TV and nobody knows my life. They will know ngoku, you understand? But they didn't know where I came from. And again, they know Lisa Dumezweni, but there was Lisa Zono before, you know? And unfortunately, ubomi bethu ngoku is so much in the public, but nobody really cares about where you came from.
Yeah.
But sikubomi where I had nothing. Like love. Didn't know what that was. I don't know. Andizuti, I did not love my husband or I loved him, but Andizuti, I knew because I was just 17. At the time, I don't really think that I knew yonke into. But
also,
all I know is that...
Also, there's a sense of duty that brought you to the marriage versus actually being in love.
Yeah. And at the same time, choosing what I want. Having the choice to say, you've got experience, ndiyayithanda lena andiyithandi. This is my type, this isn't my type. Lisa didn't have that. You know, Lisa, she didn't have time to play. She didn't do the things that young people are doing. Like I didn't go to clubs. I didn't go to taverns. Like as in yonke into manenzwayo by young people. I didn't. Again, as we sick on the same chatweni ndimncinci emveni koku uyaphinda uyasindiswa. That on its own ikwenza forcefully ukhule. And navigating obubomi ngoku, it's very hard. It's very, very hard. The fresh like an apple. I buy apple elba fresh. Like, oh God. I even feel pity for myself, bruh. Like ndiyazisizela. Because sana, ukuva xa kuthiwa life out there is a jungle.
Yeah.
Kuyilonto kuyiyo, bruh. And navigating through that, it scares the out of me.
Does Ulisa have a type?
Of course she does.
Oh, you've managed to figure that out now. Wow.
You know, I guess we all do. We all look at stuff and be like, okay, I like that. Okay, I do have a type.
Okay.
Yeah, I
What are
do
some of
have
the
a
things that you figured out about yourself now as a single woman who's trying to reestablish her life in her own terms?
Yeah.
Versus Ulisa, who was dictated to a lot by the need to keep abantu bomi bakhe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ulisa, I would say ngoku, if ndikuve kakuhle, I'm still trying to understand myself.
Okay.
There's a lot that I'm trying to understand, but I've also discovered in Dobana, I've carried a lot. A trauma and suka kuyo. As I said, ndingakhange ndingene deep kuyo. I was in such a stressful childhood that I attempted to commit suicide twice. And I've had a lot of loss as well. And that programs you. It programs who you become in the future. And ikwenza sometimes when you are with some people, being it friends, family, finding love, get too attached. Elements of you, ungacho uti, you've lost because you don't even know who you are.
Who you are.
In the first place. And ngoku ndingaka, how do I really know who I am, Sam? How do I start knowing who I am at this age? When ngoku the only thing that is expected of me is to make the right decision. The only thing that is expected of me is to be an example. Ka. Be an example. You are who you are. That is the only expectation esijongleyo.
You have not had the time to trip and fall.
No,
and
I
pick yourself
didn't.
up and be bandaged
No.
and all of this.
No. And I did not even have, even to bandage myself.
Yeah.
Let alone ukuthi there could have been someone to do that for me. But Sam, I don't want to get into my head now, kakulu, and reveal what goes on in my head without it making me emotional about my life and the decision I am making and how they could impact the future and the kuyo, and at the same time the life and the pila kuyo ngoku. It is it's almost like you're walking on eggshells ngoku, yet at the same time you are so fragile yourself. You are still learning a lot of things. Friendship uyayifunda because you are not too trusting. You don't know who to trust. You don't know who to bring closer to you. Ngoba abantu abafana nathi, we have the background that we have. We tend to sifaka konke, siya ngako konke ebantwini. You understand? And the work ethic esinayo as well.
Yeah.
That made us who we are. To some people can be intimidating. Kanti abayazi ukuthi the things esizenzileyo and that we are still doing. It's not a position yokuboast, but there was a time we felt like we had no choice. And we worked and worked and worked and worked and worked, and we ended up accumulating, achieving things. Achieving in the way that I've met the president, like debated State of the Nation's address, like in the midst of the turmoil, yobombam, ukubone, I've done great and immense, beautiful things as chinchimpilo zabanye abantu, not only mine. When I initiated the Eastern Cape Hustlers Awards, which is something I would still want to do on a bigger scale, probably for South Africa, if not Africa. I mean, the sky is not the limit. We can do anything. There's a lot of things that endizaziyo, but ilanto ndithi navigating ubomi, get traumas esisuka kuzo and the people that we bring around us. Zisenza nervous. Awuyazi ukuthi mawuthembe bani. You don't know who's genuine and who isn't genuine. You don't know who's going to stay or who isn't. So it's a lot. And going back nakumbuzo bubuzile, but navigating Joburg, it's so hard. It's very hard. It's hard that ngoku because I live like ndiyazihlalela. And kumbule, I've been married for like 13, 14 years. I've never had to live alone. And all of a sudden, ndiyazihlalela. And
you know, the one thing I know is that you don't speak ill of your husband.
No, I would never.
And you've said before that the reason that you guys didn't work is because you just kind of grew
grew apart.
You know?
I grew apart.
Yes.
Because if someone would ask him that, would say, no, but I didn't. You understand a lot of it. But as I said, because I was chasing so much.
You say again, you you have toned down on the workaholism.
Yes. Yeah.
And you've kind of relaxed a little bit. Would you ever go back?
Where?
To your husband. You've gone, you found yourself a little pity, you know, or have you tasted the fruits of the world now and you're just like...
Let me say this. For the sake of this interview, because it's an interview, for the sake of... I don't want to say the right answer.
Yeah.
I'll just say, I don't know what the future holds. You get me? Ati mna. like Annalisa,
Yes.
without sounding right and saying these things and I would never, and then goes one day, I don't know.
Yeah.
I cannot speak on that. But there are certain aspects about him I wish I could take kuye ndizifake to my future husband.
Okay.
I would love to take a few things. Or if I'm
Or just take him. Or just take him.
No, man. No, bruh. Don't do that. No, he's going to find his...
conversation and hope.
Yeah, well, no, he's a good man. He's going to find someone who's right for him. I know, Bamna, I am like, when I took that decision, as Babe Sicho, Tina sing abantu abazi females, when we get to that point, kuzoko kudala sikuyo. Awuvele nje abruptly, yabo.
Yeah.
So, I don't think I would want to go back. What the future holds, andiyazi, kuThixo yaziyo. But I hope that I were to find someone who was as kind as he was.
Yes.
Who treated me the way that he did, you know, because he was a good man.
Yeah.
You know, and
You're building a life for yourself?
Yes, I am.
And you've said that you've made space in your life now. You've relaxed a little bit in terms of the work. You've achieved some things that you want to achieve. What is it that you still feel like you need to get right in your life?
Okay. One thing, I need to get me right. I need to get me. That one.
Yeah.
Not this one. Lo ungaphakade. Because if she is right and she is able to navigate through this life, everything else as akulandela, she's going to be able to deal with. Because ngoku, I don't feel like I am whole. I don't feel like I am strong enough for certain things. In general.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm very vulnerable. Yeah. On a number of things. And ishildi yam. What drove me kakhulu to fight and to work until you get it. Because everything that I did when I started my media company, was that, you know, I wanted to be where I am today.
Yeah.
And fortunately for me, while I still have my company, it led me to realizing my dreams.
Yes.
Yeah, Ibonaland. And does achieve nezinye izinto. But because the one thing I wanted, ndikuyo ndiyayiphila, and this is the drive is no longer there. It's still there, but I'm having a moment to exhale. Let me put it like that.
You're having a moment to appreciate where you are.
Yeah.
To look around and smell the flowers.
Yeah, yeah.
And to look around and take in the view.
Yes. And again, an addition to that would be, how do I maintain this? And how do I grow? How do I make it whole? Iphelele, with the idea and the ideal of the life that I still want. That is being the family, because I'm very family orientated. And it's still something that I want with everything in me, you know. God willing, it happens. It doesn't, it's okay. Plenty of women out there, nababa's pilala. Yeah.
This has been so fantastic. Like, time has flown by.
Yeah.
Time has flown by. And at some point, we're going to need to have you back, because I think that a lot of people look at this platform and they think that it's just about substances.
I hear you.
But ultimately, it's just finding better versions of ourselves.
Yeah, I hear you, sir.
No matter what it is. And, you know, it's so weird that the workaholism came up, and it was not necessarily something I was looking to tap into.
Yeah.
And I think that I may be at that point currently.
Yeah.
and the awareness of it that you have now brought to me is good. I'm not going to stop.
Yeah.
And this
Don't.
And this
Yeah.
But at least being aware to be able to establish some kind of balance, because ultimately what I'm working towards now is working to be able to employ people to take the strain off of me.
Yeah, that's perfect.
And therefore, and what I said the one time is that, I think it was a couple of days ago, Ndati, at this point in time, what I'm trying to do is ngathi pressure cooker.
I hear you.
So ongakhangangene as spicy before.
Akanobasayifumana chance.
Akazobasayifumana chance ngoku.
So move very fast.
Samfaka ezityiwa.
Phambi.
Afterwards samfaka as a condiment. Zakuzisa as tomato sauce uzawuza as tomato sauce etafileni sekuphakiwe ngoku.
Yeah, I hear
But
you.
right now there's a lot to be done.
Yeah.
And as long as I'm aware of it and I'm able to take care of myself within that, you know, then I'm going to be good. Lisa, thank you so much for joining us.
Yes.
Appreciate you. Love how open you are with your story and with yourself and with your emotions.
Yeah.
Like I said, we're going to definitely need to have you back.
Yeah. And kuningi that we like for umsekelo, and there's a lot that made like who I am.
Yes.
Like, and being young and sitting on boards, you know, and ube ungena mvelaphi ephucukileyo. Ube ungena mvelaphi eqhakazileyo. Kodwa izinto suke kuzo zikubumbile zakushape wazazi ukuthi andina choice, andina backup. So the best thing I can do for myself, to put my head in the sand ekusebenzeni qha and see the outcomes of that. That's where I'm at.
Ladies and gentlemen, Lisa Dumezweni. That is how we ended for today. Thank you so much for joining us. Be sure to comment, like, subscribe, click on the notification bell so that you're notified every single time that we upload a brand new episode. We still have t-shirts. Help us keep this podcast alive. Number 064771441. That's how you can get your own. I realize a lot of people have never seen the back of this.
Nice. Because mnandibone front.
Yes.
The other one, and that in their phone.
Yeah. So with that said, thank you so much for continuing to tune in every single week, and share this episode with anyone that you think might benefit from it. And let's continue to grow this community of like-minded people who just want to be better. With that said, I'll see you at the next one. Bye-bye.
Thank you. We're soberish.
Umhlaba wonke ubhedesha wena oyise ongonaphakade zonke ingelosi zimemeza kuwe kwanezulu nawo onke amandla kulo ikerubime neserafime zimanazi memeza kuwe Nkosi ngithembe wena mangi ngaze ngidaniswe Nkosi ngithembe wena mangi ngaze ngidaniswe